Yo, what's up, YouTube? We're back. Today we're going to be reacting to a video by Fern. It's called The Kid Who Ruled 33% of the World. Let's get into it.
Beijing, China. It's just after nightfall in the year 1908. A mysterious group leaves the Forbidden City. Servants, mounted imperial guards, the palace chamberlain. It's an official escort plus security detail. But they're not taking someone out of the city. They're on a mission to bring someone back. They travel north until they arrive at a red-gated mansion, the home of Prince Chun. He is
What
not
year is
expecting
this?
visitors,
I don't know if they
but
said
the imperial procession is
here.
not
I
here
just
for him.
missed it.
They're looking for his 2-year-old son. The little boy is afraid of the strangers and hides in a cupboard. The servants try to pull him out and carry him away, but the boy resists. He screams, he sobs, he scratches and wails. When they finally manage to calm him down, they take him back to the Forbidden City. This little 2-year-old boy
So they just snatched this kid for no reason. No reason at all, just stole him.
was just chosen to
That's
rule
messed up,
China.
man.
His name
Chosen to rule China? He's 2.
is Puyi.
we
Puyi is going to be the
serious?
next emperor of the Qing dynasty, and the Chinese people will regard him as a living god.
Bro, imagine giving that much power to a 2-year-old. Bro, they're not going to understand half the things you're saying to them. They're going to be like, yo, like in their mind, they're going to be like, what is this guy saying? Why is he doing this? Like, I don't think, like, what? That's insane.
This video is largely based on the excellent book, The Last Emperor by Edward Beer. Find the link in the description. It's Puyi's coronation ceremony, and the boy can't take it anymore. For what seems like an eternity, they paraded before him. Strange men speaking strange words, ministers, palace guard officers, other officials. They approach and perform a ritual bow, kneeling 3 times and touching their heads against the ground 9 times. A kowtow.
9
Each man
times?
pledges his allegiance, words that mean nothing to the young boy. To the 2-year-old, it's incomprehensible and frightening. The one person who could soothe him, who would calm him down and make him feel safe, isn't there. His wet nurse. Puyi is not allowed to see his mother, and Nurse Wang is her replacement. She plays with him, breastfeeds him, sleeps next to him. She's his main comfort and favorite companion. But she has been excluded from the ceremony. Puyi begins to fidget. Also, he's cold. The hall is freezing. He tells his father, Prince Chun, that he wants to go home. Then he starts crying.
Wait. So they took his father too? His dad went with him? Because I thought at the beginning they just took the kid. But I guess they also brought his dad too? Okay.
Prince Chun is desperate. No occasion could be more important than this. It must go well. He tries to soothe his son, saying that it'll be over soon. Those words may have comforted Puyi. To the palace staff who overhear them, though, they sound like a grim prophecy, not only about the emperor's reign, but about the fate of the Qing dynasty itself. The Qing dynasty began in 1644 after a minority ethnic group, the Manchu people, overthrew the majority ethnic group, the Han people. At its peak in 1790, the Qings were the 4th largest dynasty of all time. At the time of Puyi's coronation, China had more citizens than any other country. When the boy took the throne, he became the ruler of nearly 1/3 of the world's population.
That's insane.
China has been
That's
ruled by
insane.
dynasties for
A
more than
third?
2,000 years, and the power of the emperor has remained unchanged since then. On paper, it was virtually limitless. The Qing emperor was arguably the most powerful human being on Earth. But actually, China and its dynasty have been in decline for a long time. A series of internal power struggles have weakened the position of the emperor, leading to this one seemingly bizarre moment. But in fact, Puyi was not selected as emperor in spite of his age, but because of it.
He was... Huh? He was chosen... He was chosen to be emperor because he was 2? So they knew he was 2 already. and they just took him. They're like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna make you emperor. All right, okay, that makes
This is
sense.
Tsuchi, also known as the Dragon Lady. As a teenager, she was chosen to be a concubine of the emperor. After his death, she seized control of the empire and effectively ruled China for nearly 50 years as Empress Dowager. To maintain her power, she installed underage boys as puppet emperors. But as the last of them grew older, tensions arose. Now he is very ill. Tsuchi knows he'll soon be dead. She is willing to do anything to hold on to power. After losing a war against Japan, China was in heavy debt. As a partial payment, Tsuchi allows foreign forces to claim territory and valuable resources. China is weakened, the population oppressed. In the Forbidden City, a place of intrigue and conspiracy, Tsuchi is under massive pressure. Her health has been deteriorating. She urgently needs a new puppet.
Okay, so technically, she's the one who rules China, and all the underage boys or whatever or kids are the ones that look like they're running China. What she said, he said they're the puppet emperors. So not the real emperors. They're the people who look like the emperors. But she's the actual one running the country. Okay. At least it's not the actual 2-year-old running the country. That's a little. All right.
Technically, as long as Puyi is still underage, his father, Prince Chun, will be regent. He himself is loyal to Tsuchi. He's also incompetent,
Okay.
unlikely to outshine her. Exactly what she needs. After
Okay.
little Puyi has been seized from his home, everything seemed to be working out for her. The day after, as expected, her previous puppet emperor died. He was poisoned. But before Tsuchi can make her next moves, she too dies. And a
She's dead. So who's running it now?
2-year-old sits on the throne.
Oh, so this 2-year-old actually is running China. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. Make this a little bigger. Oh, not that. So this 2-year-old is actually running China? Okay.
Of course, all of this is lost on Puyi. All he knows is that some important looking people took him away from his mom, put him in a fancy robe, and are doing all sorts of strange things in front of him now. The reason is that he's no longer considered an ordinary toddler. From now on, to everyone he encounters, he's a living god.
A god. I got that too. I wish I was me, man. I wish
3
I was a
years
god
later,
that too.
Puyi is 5 years old now, and this is what a
5.
typical day of his might have looked like.
Oh, this is okay.
He opens his eyes.
There we go. 1911. It just went away. This is in 1911.
He's on a
Okay.
massive kang, the platform bed where he sleeps every night, snuggled against Nurse Wang. Puyi must get dressed. Custom dictates that the clothes he wears must never have been worn before. Yesterday's outfit, his silk tunic, padded waistcoat, sable jacket, and fur-lined coat, has already been disposed of.
He has new clothes every day? Every day he gets a new pair of clothes. Every single day. And they're silk. Yo! What? What do they do with the other silk?
Of
Bro,
course,
what?
he's not going to dress himself. As with everything,
Yo, this haircut, by the way, bro, let me move this. This haircut, by the way, is devious, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, you have to pay me a lot of money for me to get that haircut. That's insane.
the eunuchs will
That's
take
a
care of it.
wicked haircut.
They are his servants.
Wicked haircut.
If you want to serve in the imperial court of the Qing dynasty, you have to become a eunuch. That means you have to cut off your penis, scrotum, and testicles.
You gotta what? Hold on. Hold on. Rewind that.
If you want to serve in the imperial court of the Qing dynasty, you have to become a eunuch. That means you have to cut off your penis, scrotum, and testicles.
Nah. You have to. You gotta cut off everything? Bro. Nah. Bro. Everything. That's insane. Why? Wait, what? Why?
It would guarantee that the Emperor is the only fertile man in the palace.
Okay, that makes sense, but still. No, actually it does not make sense. You don't gotta cut off everything. Just cut off the balls, bro. Once those are cut off, you're not fertile. You can't have kids. What? Everything? Bro. So what is it? It's just flat? It's just flat down there? Nah. That's wicked. That's wicked. That's
Therefore,
insane, bro.
every child that was born here had to be his. Like all male Qing subjects, eunuchs wear a queue. Only a particular kind of eunuch, eunuchs of the imperial presence,
They wear a queue, so this isn't their actual hair. This is like a wig, and they're bald. Still never.
were allowed
Still
to look
never.
at Puyi. All others had to look at the ground or turn away. They had no beards, their heads were bowed, their voices were high, since most had been castrated before puberty. Since tradition dictated a person couldn't reach heaven if they weren't buried whole, the eunuchs carried their removed genitals at all times, in little
They carry them at all times. That's disgusting. Oh, what?
jars filled with salt water.
What? Bro. Another ad. Bro.
Get exclusive
That's
Mortal Kombat 2.
that's so nasty. No, that's so nasty. Oh my god.
The emperor is hungry. At a signal, the eunuchs will immediately prepare a huge buffet for him. Now, like every other day, he must pay a visit to the eastern palaces. Here, his other mothers live. 5 women who were either married to or concubines of the
His
2 previous
other
emperors.
mothers, he got 5 moms.
To get to the eastern palaces, Puyi must take a walk through the city.
Dang, there's a lot of these people. All them got all their stuff cut off? Nah,
Again, accompanied by the eunuchs.
that's crazy.
Wherever Puyi goes, dozens of eunuchs accompany him.
That's crazy.
One walks 30 yards in front, warning people to make way. Then come 2 chief eunuchs, walking on either side of the path. Then, about 2 feet behind, the center of the procession, Puyi himself. He is walking, and 2 junior eunuchs attend him on either side. Then come eunuchs of the imperial presence, carrying clothing, parasols, a canopy. Then more eunuchs still, carrying boxes of cakes and delicacies. Then
There's
eunuchs of the
so
imperial
many
dispensary.
of them.
And
Oh
finally,
my
at the
god.
rear, eunuchs carrying chamber pots and commodes. If along the
Bro.
way, Puyi realizes he needs to use the toilet, the eunuchs will be there, rushing forward with a chamber pot, and then rushing away with it to inspect the outcome.
Inspect the outcome. They looking at their doodle. Bro, imagine having to use the restroom in this same. Bro. Oh my god, that has to be so uncomfortable. They have to. He has to inspect his outcome. Bro, that's insane.
Puyi arrives. According to ritual, each mother asks after Puyi's health, though whether they care is less clear. Long Yu, for her part, believes little boys should be kept in good health by half-starving them. She holds considerable
Hold on, I almost missed that. Kept in good health by half starving them.
power over Puyi.
Yo, this China dynasty, whatever this is, insane. This
She's
is
the
wicked.
widow of Guangxu,
There's no way.
Puyi's poisoned predecessor.
There's no way.
She is Prince Chu.
Oh, is that him? Is that him? He's like what, 5 or 6 in this picture?
Jun's
Dang.
co-regent. In a few years, she will banish Puyi's beloved nurse Wang, not even allowing her to say goodbye.
Mm.
Though Puyi hates all of his mothers, he has a special hatred for Long Yu. On the way back, Puyi is in a bad mood. Suddenly, he makes a decision. 2 of the eunuchs offended him. It's not clear how, but either way, he wants them to be flogged. The 2 offending eunuchs are made to expose their bottoms. 2 other eunuchs come forward, holding sticks. The eunuchs are beaten on the spot. Puyi watches, and there's delight in his eyes.
Bro. They get spanked, and this little freak of a kid is smiling. Bro, what? Nah.
Back at the Hall of Supreme Harmony, he
Bro, he's happy they getting beat. He's like 5. That's not a good thing. He should not be happy about that. That's not a good thing
He
at
listens
all,
as court
bro.
officials drone on and on. They speak of matters of state, providing information incomprehensible to the little
Oh, he's about to say
boy.
it.
They come with
I was about to say that he's not gonna understand at all what they're saying whatsoever.
documents,
all.
each requiring the seal of the emperor. He applies the seal again and again and again under the
Bro, he don't even know what he's signing. Bro, he could be signing for like the most random stuff, bro.
supervision of his tutors
He's
and the
just
palace
signing it.
chamberlain. It's bewildering and terribly boring. As regent, Prince Jun holds the real power and makes the real decisions. But the seal must
okay.
be applied by the hand of the emperor.
Okay.
At last, after hours of talk and ceremony, Puyi is free. He wants to be entertained. There's no real friend to play with, but the eunuchs are not only his servants, but also his entertainers. One of his favorite eunuchs puts on a puppet show. Puyi loves it, and he comes up with an idea. He wants to reward the puppet master with a cake. But before presenting the gift, he asks Nurse Wang to fill it with sharp pieces of metal. He tells her that he wants to see what the eunuch looks like when he eats it. Wang manages to convince him to fill the cake with dried beans instead.
This little brat. Oh, he wanted to put pieces of metal in the cake and watch his caretakers or eunuchs or whatever eat it with pieces of metal inside. Nah, sorry. Let me not say guy. This kid's insane. What?
Now, Puyi asks for his air gun
Oh,
He's looking
air
for a
gun.
practice
Okay,
target.
air gun.
and chooses the eunuchs. But shooting eunuchs is only fun for so long. He's bored again. He sees a piece of dirt on the floor. He points at it and tells one of the eunuchs, "Eat that for me." And if a living god asks you to eat
Bro, what? What is
dirt,
happening
you better
right
kneel
now?
down and eat it.
What is happening right now?
At
I-
night
hey,
is
I
when
know
the little
don't
boy
hurt
feels
nobody,
safest,
but
curled up
that's
in the
still
arms
insane.
of Nurse Wang. Sometimes he still misses his biological mother, but his memory of her is already hazy. He won't be allowed to see her again until he is 13.
13.
Puyi lives an isolated life. He has
Wait,
no
he's
idea
5?
that beyond the walls of the Forbidden City, the country which he is technically the emperor of, is in turmoil.
Well, yeah, of course it is. You have a 2-year-old running the damn country. Of course it's in turmoil. Like what? Bro, what?
It's October 1911. In Wuchang, a group of soldiers mutiny, turning against their corrupt generals. This uprising soon spreads all over the country and turns into a full-blown rebellion against the dynasty. The Chinese people are fed up. 4 wars and increasing Western incursions have decreased China's territory, and the majority Han population has been sick of Manchu rule for centuries. The people begin to dream of a more unified republic. Then the imperial army flips, siding with the rebels, leaving the dynasty without military defense. By February 1912, Prince Chun has renounced his position as regent. Empress Dowager Long Yu also steps down and agrees to Puyi's abdication. And just like that, the Qing dynasty is no more. China is now a republic.
Okay. I mean, it's good that a 2-year-old's not running the country, but now it's the Republic of China now. So there's no emperor. There's not one person ruling everything.
With the
now.
new freedom of press, newspapers sprung up all over the country. Soon, outlets from every
What's gonna happen to his 2-year-old then?
political camp started shouting over
He
each
was
other.
he was
in
a
highly
god
polarized
for
media
like
landscape.
years.
If that sounds familiar, it should. Polarization and echo chambers are fueling record low trust in today's media. But today's sponsor, Ground News, is changing.
Bruh, sponsor, bruh. Skip that.
For the majority of the traditional Chinese population, the idea of a country without a monarch is odd. Abolishing the dynasty entirely is unthinkable.
Mhm.
So the new rulers negotiate an agreement with the old monarchs. Puyi would be allowed to live on in the Forbidden City with his servants and personal fortune, plus an annual allowance of roughly $3.4 million in today's money.
An annual allowance. A 2-year-old's getting an annual allowance of $3.4 million a year. Like, to be fair, there's people that make more than that a year, but $3.4 million a year, bro. That's a lot of money. Give me that. Yo, give me like 10K, 100K. 300K. You can afford it.
money.
I want that allowance.
Even though
What?
Puyi officially abdicated the throne, he continues to sit on it, and he continues to put the imperial seal upon court documents. But now these documents concern insignificant matters: staff
Okay, yep.
promotions, the transplantation of trees,
Okay, so they're not important no more. Okay.
when the eunuchs
I mean,
should
it
change their
makes sense.
uniforms.
It
The
makes
Forbidden
sense.
City has become a place of make-believe, and it begins to feel like a golden cage, one that Puyi will want to break out of very soon.
Dreams of escape.
8 years later, a well-dressed British gentleman enters the Forbidden City. He will bring chaos to the divine palaces. His name is Reginald Johnston. Johnston is a respected Chinese linguist, a poet and calligraphist. Now he will be the English teacher of China's emperor.
He's gonna teach.
But
Puyi
Johnston begins
English?
to secretly teach Puyi Western history and philosophy.
Mm.
Up until this point, the young emperor only studied Chinese classics. But under Johnston's influence, Puyi falls in love with British culture, and he starts to change. Normally, all male subjects of the Qing dynasty were required to wear a queue, but soon Puyi will just cut his off, a major offense to the tradition. He begins to dress like an English gentleman instead. He starts speaking a mix of English and Chinese, and from now on, he will call himself Henry. Puyi also
Henry.
wears glasses,
Henry.
which the dowager
Okay.
consorts will not approve of. He will ride a bike through the Forbidden City and fall in love with movies. But most of all, he will become obsessed with a strange new invention from the West, the telephone.
No, this is W for him, low key, bro. I would be if I had to rule China when I was 2 years old, and at this point I've done nothing but sit on a throne and steal some stamps, sleep, eat, and now this random guy walks up to me, teaches me another language, shows me, like, teaches me history about a whole nother place, bro. I would be interested too, cause it's so different. Like he's been emperor since he was 2, living the exact same life day to day. And now he's getting something different. Bro, I would be the same way. I would fall in love with all this stuff.
Makes calls to people in Beijing and hangs up before announcing who it is. One
He
time,
prank
he
called
orders
people.
a meal to a
Wow.
false address, likely the first royal prank call in history. Puyi increasingly gets an idea of what the outside world might actually look like, and everything he's missing out on. He announces that once he's old enough, he wants to leave the country and study at Oxford, just like his teacher.
Oxford? Dang.
On June 3rd, 1922, he tries to make this dream come true. He asks Reginald Johnston to sneak him out of the Forbidden City. But Johnston, the man who planted all these dreams in Puyi's head, refuses. If Puyi were to
Dang,
leave,
that's mean.
Johnston would lose his position, with all its perks and status.
Wow. So he's not going to help him leave because then he would lose his job or whatever.
Puyi
Man.
has no one else to help him escape,
Selfish, bro.
and though he doesn't fully realize
Selfish.
it yet, he's being entrapped even further. The dowager consorts, who also depend on him for their livelihood, have figured out a way to make escape impossible.
Marriage.
Puyi
Ooh, I
faces
didn't
a
think
decision.
about
He must choose a bride. His only guide, these 4 photographs, selected by the dowager
that. 4
consorts.
pictures?
He is 16 years old. The pictures are small, the faces of the women difficult to see. He draws a circle around one that looks pretty. This is Wenxiao, a 12-year-old Manchu girl. But the dowager
12?
consorts don't consider her a suitable first choice.
12? He's 16?
She's an aristocrat, but she's too poor to be empress. He chooses
Different rules
again.
back then. Different rules.
This time he points to a 15-year-old girl from a prominent rich family. The dowager consorts are pleased.
So they gave him the option, but then when he picked the option he wanted, they said no because she didn't have money. Then why give him the option? What?
Her name is Wang Rong. 2 tiny pictures.
That's messed
One
up.
will be his wife. One will be his consort. He's encouraged to point to other pictures to choose
Consort?
secondary.
What's a consort? What's a consort? We're gonna look this up. How do you spell that? Consort. A consort is most likely the spouse of a reigning monarch, such as a king, queen, or queen. Difference between a wife and a consort. Every wife is a spouse, but a consort specifically refers to the spouse of a regional monarch, while a wife is a general term for a female partner in a marriage. So a consort is so basically he has a wife, but then he has a girlfriend. Basically, kind of a spouse. No, because doesn't spouse mean you're married? Man, I don't know. I don't know.
Marry consorts.
I don't know.
But Puyi refuses. One is enough. The pictures he selected are taken away. He won't see either girl until his wedding night. A couple of months later, just after the wedding, Puyi is with his empress wife for the first time. He has no experience with women. Now, on his first wedding night, he's supposed to consummate the marriage. But he doesn't know how.
On his first, he just met this girl. They just got married. They're supposed to have a baby. First night, first off, he's 16. Second off, he has never even been with another woman ever in his entire life. He has no clue what he's doing. And he just got to do it on the spot like that?
No one told him how this works. He panics and runs away. Puyi didn't
I'll do the
consummate
same
the
thing,
marriage
man.
then, and it's probable he never did. When asked many years later, Puyi's little brother said the ex-emperor was found to be biologically incapable of producing children. This may have been literally true, but some historians speculate that this was a euphemism, that Puyi was, in fact, homosexual. The years after Puyi's abdication are years of chaos. The first Chinese premier declares himself emperor.
Yeah.
A few weeks
Wicked
later, he
mustache,
abdicates. 6 months later, he's dead.
Dang.
Meanwhile, warlords fight all over the country, and Western powers continue to assert economic and territorial influence through concessions. China is weak, fragmented, and without central leadership. In November 1924, one of the warlords takes control of Beijing and forces Puyi to leave the Forbidden City. He can keep his private wealth, and he'll get money from the state, but his days as emperor are finally over.
So now he's finally not
To
emperor no
Puyi,
more.
now 18 years old, this doesn't sound too bad. He's always wanted to live an ordinary life. From this day forward, he'll be a private citizen, free to do whatever he wants.
Okay.
But
Can
his
he
freedom
leave? Can
will
he
look
leave
quite
now?
different from what he expected.
Okay.
26 years later, in a Chinese prison, to be more precise, the Fushun War Criminals Management Center.
He went to
The
prison?
dynasty is no more.
What'd he do?
The Republic is no more either. After a brutal civil war, Mao Zedong and the Chinese Communist Party have seized power, and they've installed re-education centers all over the country.
Yeah, now they're communism.
Prisons and labor camps where enemies undergo communist brainwashing in harsh conditions.
Not communism.
They either learn to be communists or die in the process. This is one of them. Prisoner number 981 is weak and absurdly incompetent. He only recently learned to tie his shoes and brush his teeth. He is hopelessly untidy and constantly forgets simple actions.
Bro, I didn't think about that. He doesn't know how to tie his shoes because when he was little, he had people that did it for him every day. People cleaned up after him every day, tied his shoes every day, got him dressed every day, cleaned him every day. He has no clue how to do that because he's never done it. Bro,
By turning out the faucet after
that's
use.
something I never thought about.
Before his imprisonment in 1950, he'd never have to do such things.
Exactly.
They'd been done for him. He'd been a living god, after all. Now, like so many others, he's going through so-called remolding. He's compiled a list of Japanese crimes in Manchuria. He attended presentations by Japanese war criminals. These crimes, he was to blame for them, he begins to realize.
That's
for this
crazy.
is Puyi, the prison's so-called number one traitor.
This
Another ad, bro.
game, you're not ready.
After leaving the Forbidden City, he aligned himself with the Japanese. They first housed him in Tianjin, then enthroned him as emperor of the Japanese puppet state of Manchukuo in Manchuria. The region was invaded by Japan in 1931. For 11 years, he'd been the puppet emperor once again, controlled by the Japanese, legitimizing their myriad war crimes in Manchuria.
Another puppet, bro.
When the Soviets invaded Manchuria in 1945, Puyi had been captured. Tried as a war criminal at the military tribunal for the Far East, he'd lied shamelessly to save his skin, disavowing all responsibility
him?
for his role as a ruler and blaming the Japanese,
I mean, he's older
his
now.
former
but-
ally. Shortly after the Chinese Communist Party came to power in 1949, the Soviets sent him back to China. Now in Fushun prison, he's being remolded. The Chinese communists realize he's a powerful symbol, an incarnation of everything they're against: decadent imperialism and capitalist greed. If he can be turned into a communist, anyone can. It would be the ultimate symbol of their ideological supremacy. Puyi will spend 9 years at the prison camp, listening to lectures, grappling with his
9
guilt,
years?
committing to paper his many sins.
Holy cow.
In the end, he is released, weak, shrunken, and humble. Puyi is now a true believer, a die-hard communist.
Hmm.
At least, that's what he says.
He's not?
After being released from prison, Puyi moved in with his sister in Beijing. One time, he even worked as the tour guide in the Forbidden City, the place where he was once
Dang.
crowned the emperor of the 4th largest dynasty in human history,
He worked as a tour guide where he used to
ruling over a
freaking
third of the
live,
world's
bro.
population. A private citizen at last, Puyi eventually took a job as a gardener, working quietly among the plants. It seemed that Puyi at least found some sort of freedom. Throughout his life, he has worn many faces. As a toddler, he was traumatized by a sudden kidnapping. As a boy, he took pleasure in torturing innocent servants.
Still insane, by the way. Still
As a
insane.
teenager, he dreamed of becoming an Oxford student. As Emperor of Manchukuo, he was complicit in horrendous crimes against humanity.
Hmm.
And as a prisoner, he was repentant and humble. He died on 17 October 1967.
That was a great video. Great video. That was a good video. Hi, YouTube. I appreciate you watching. That's a great video. Fern, bro, check him out. Fern makes some great videos. Check him out, bro. Man, I'll see y'all. Peace.